Welcome to the He's Got Issues Independent Comics Edition number 196.3. I'm John Cooney here to preview new independent comics being released October 21st, 2015, beginning alphabetically with Boom Studios and Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake, Card Wars number 4 of 6. The Card Wars tournament is in full throttle as Cake takes on all opponents. Next we have Big Trouble in Little China number 17. A sorcerer's convention may just be the key to rescuing Margot from the Baba Yaga. Start of a new arc featuring Dan McDade of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Mind the Gap on art. We've also got Cognetic number 1 of 3. Every human believes that they are self-reliant, self-determined individuals, each set on their own course. They've built civilizations, they've built culture, they've built lives, but what if that isn't the right track? What if there's a singular mind ready to take back control and finally write the destiny of mankind and build a better tomorrow? Cognetic is the story of a powerful psychic being that once controlled 1/3 of the world's population as part of its hive mind and his return to humanity in modern-day New York City. It's a psychic action thriller precariously positioned on the edge of outright apocalypse. It's also the story of a young woman, the assistant to the director of the FBI, who might be the only one who can save humanity, but at a terrible, terrible cost. Each issue in this miniseries is oversized with 48 pages. Next we have Escape from New York number 11. When Snake is imprisoned, he comes face to face with the Duke for the first time since the events of the film. We've also got Giant Days number 7 of 12. It's time for end of semester exams, but Esther was too busy living to attend most of her lectures, and it's up to Daisy and Susan to help her prepare. Meanwhile, Susan goes through the schmoopy romantic phase of a new relationship. Next we have Hacktivist Volume 2 number 4 of 6. Save Yourself wins a short-lived victory and Grace meets two ghosts. And we have Lumberjanes number 19. April does her best to repair the mermaid's friendship, but she just keeps making things worse. From Dark Horse Comics we've got B.P.R.D. Hell on Earth number 136. The Midwest is in trouble. With the B.P.R.D's largest foe unleashed upon the earth, they struggle to keep the devastation from spreading, but even their strongest weapons are useless. Next we have Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 10 number 20. Called in for a supernatural crimes case, Buffy and Spike discover an incubus demon is targeting women in San Francisco. Meanwhile, Xander and Giles work on an exorcism that stirs up some questions about Ghost Anya. We've also got Dark Horse Presents number 15. Carla Speed McNeil's Finder returns to Dark Horse Presents with a new serial entitled Torch. Sean Aldridge and Julius Gopez weave a terminal tale of superheroism in Last Act. Steve Horton and Chris Merriman's Mike Fortune delivers adventure, and David Chelsea brings us a Snow Angel Halloween, plus new chapters of Alex DeCampi and Jerry Ordway's Semi-Automagic and Brendan McCarthy's Dream Gang. Next we have Groo Friends and Foes number 10. As Groo wanders through 12 issues, he encounters his old friend/foe, the mercenary commander Taranto, who's plotting to claim the vast riches that shall come to the father of the lost girl, Kylie. The intrigue unfolds in this story by the award-winning team of Sergio Aragones and Mark Evanier, with lettering by Stan Sakai and coloring by Tom Luth. We've also got Midnight Society, The Black Lake, number 4 of 4. With no other choice and the lives of anyone who steps near Loch Ness on the line, Matilda Finn faces a monstrous creature and brings events under the Black Lake to a gruesome conclusion. Bathed in death and regret, does she even want to survive, much less return to the service of MI Omega? Next we have Paybacks number 2. One of the world's greatest superhero team, the Command, defaults on their loans. Their secret underwater base becomes the property of the Paybacks. It's Knight's first mission with the superhero Repo Squad, and the foreclosure goes smoothly until it really doesn't. I mean, High Guard can see through walls, you know. How do you sneak past that? We've also got Plants vs. Zombies number 5. Nate and Patrice try to teach a batch of young plants how to be helpful and productive Neighborville citizens. What does Dr. Zombos hope to find out by spying on them? Writer Paul Tobin and artist Andy Tong tell our main tale, and artist Nika Myers draws this month's bonus stories. Next we have Power Cube number 2 of 4. If on your birthday you could make a wish, any wish, before you blew out your candles, what would it be? On his 18th birthday, Kenny got something better than one wish. He was given alien technology that lets him create literally anything he can wish for. How about a flying robot or a life-size T-Rex? To keep it and also stay, alive, he'll have to outwit the persistent government agent Claire Covert and a Nazi mad scientist. On top of that, when Kenny's father is abducted by some old friends, Kenny will have to use every ounce of imagination to save him. We've also got Rook, number 1 of 4. The Rook is back. Bill Dubé's time-traveling adventure classic returns, penned and illustrated by comics masters Stephen Grant and Paul Galassi. Reston Dane is ready for action any place, any time. Next we have Steam Man, number 1 of 5, the Old West, but not as we know it. Giant steam-powered robots are created to take down invading Martians and armies of killer albino apes in an all-out brawl. The Steam Man, a giant metal man operated by a team of monster hunters, seems to have the town protected and the West under control until a crazed and powerful vampire comes to town to bring forth the apocalypse. And we have Usagi Yojimbo, number 149. Usagi is hired to deliver a valuable stone named Distant Mountain to Lord Akakani, a practitioner of Suseki, the art of stone appreciation. But first the rabbit Ronin must run a deadly gauntlet of bandits and samurai sent by a rival collector. From Dynamite Entertainment, we have Dawn Vampirella, number 5 of 6. After being forced to entertain the demon Masonic with wild stories under the threat of death, Vampirella has more than she can stand. She begins to suspect that her fellow captive Dawn might know more than she is saying. Is Dawn hiding some ace up her sleeve, or is she in league with Masonic? Violence erupts between the two. The demon is thrilled by this, thinking he's getting a front row seat of the fight of the century. Blood flies and roses shatter as Dawn and Vampirella come face to face and confront their differences. Next we have Looking for Group, number 7. This issue of Looking for Group kicks off with Kale declaring, "This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen," which should say enough. Need to know more? How about a trip down a road of a certain yellow shade? Or daring escapes, the unspooling of one of our heroes' backstory? And have you ever tried to cross a border with a warlock, a panther, and a dwarf? Customs gone mad in the world of LFG. We've also got Voltron from the Ashes, number 2 of 6. The mighty Voltron fell in battle more than 200 years ago. Now a new threat has surfaced and Voltron is needed once more, but a new team must be chosen to pilot the Lions. And we have Will Eisner's The Spirit, number 4. Ebony and Sammy's trail to discover what has become of their heroic friend leads them next to the infamous Pigel. The sultry femme fatale claims that she certainly does know the spirit's fate and is willing to share it with them, but only for a price. Tales are told, some true and some false, as a wintry smuggling scheme explodes into danger. Does the truth behind the spirit's disappearance at last stand to be revealed? This phenomenal new take on one of comicdom's most revered and iconic characters is brought to you by Eisner Award-winning writer Matt Wagner and the visual team of artist Dan Chicade and colorist Brennan Wagner. Join the 75th anniversary celebration of comics master Will Eisner's most famous creation. From IDW Publishing, we have Back to the Future, number 1 of 4, Untold Tales and Alternate Timelines, Part 1. Back to the Future creator/screenwriter Bob Gale returns with all new tales from the twisting and turning timeline that made Back to the Future a, timeless pop culture phenomenon. Take a trip back to 1985 and be there when Doc Brown and Marty McFly first meet, and then jump even farther back to 1945 to witness Doc's involvement in the super-secret Manhattan Project. All new canonical stories by Bob Gale, creator and screenwriter of Back to the Future, scripts by John Barber and Eric Burnham, with artwork by Brent Schoonover and Dan Schoening, part of IDW's Artist Edition month promotion. Next we have Danger Girl Renegade, number 2 of 4. More details emerge from Abby Chase's past as a 16-year-old in Tokyo. We've also got Donald Duck, number 6. Donald's debut as the diabolical Duck Avenger wraps up, but will it finish a Duck family feud? Then Donald's nephews celebrate a birthday bugaboo. It's an issue full of fan favorites, from Donald's wild Duck Avenger alter ego to the never-before reprinted birthday bugaboo. Continues this beloved series' legacy, numbering its 373, 40 action-packed pages for only $3.99. Next we have Fistful of Blood, number 1 of 4. She drifted into town with a few days to kill, re-releasing the crazed adventures from Kevin Eastman and Simon Beasley. Every issue in this special edition will feature artwork remastered by Kevin Eastman, all new colors, and a plethora of sketches, process work, and other bonus material too. We've also got Godzilla In Hell, number 4 of 5. Godzilla's journey is stymied by an impenetrable wall of living flesh. Cornered with nowhere to go, he's beset by devilish versions of his greatest foes, Destroya and King Ghidorah. Next we have My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, number 35, Siege of the Crystal Empire, Part 2. The mystery antagonist reveals the next stage in a diabolical scheme. Will our ponies be able to uncover what role Sombra is meant to play before it's too late? We've also got Star Trek number 50. Don't miss this special anniversary issue that kicks off an epic new 3-part adventure. For the first time, the crew of the new movie franchise will meet its evil mirror counterpart. It's Enterprise versus Enterprise, Federation versus the Terran Empire, with the fate of 2 universes at stake. Wraparound cover by interior artist Tony Chastain, celebrating the momentous 50th issue of IDW's ongoing Star Trek comic. The kickoff of a very special 3-part story inspired by the classic original Star Trek episode Mirror Mirror. Bonus content including behind-the-scenes looks at the last 50 issues of Star Trek. Next we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Amazing Adventures number 3. The Mutanimals make their amazing debut. Members of the team are acting strangely, and the reason is unknown. What happens when they determine the TMNT are to blame? Featuring a backup story by Ben Costa. And we have Transformers number 46, Conquerors Part 1. Optimus Prime struggles to find his place on Cybertron, where half the population hates him and the other half worships him. Meanwhile, on Earth, Galvatron doesn't care what anybody thinks. A new story arc that will have deep-reaching ramifications for Transformers. The countdown to issue 50 begins here, part of IDW's Artist Edition month promotion. From Image Comics, we've got Beauty number 3. The beauties are dying. They're dying bad. Foster and Vaughn find unlikely allies in their fight to find the truth. Next we have Empty Zone number 5. We learn Kareen's dark secret and everything crashes down in pure destruction as she takes on a gang of thugs that are half animal. We've also got The Fade Out number 10. Another secret about the murder comes to light. Next we have Invincible number 124. Reboot Part 1. This one is big, folks. We're going back to square one. Mark suddenly finds himself without powers, back home, but aware of everything he's lived through. What does he change? Who can he save? And how will he deal with his father now that he knows what's coming? We've also got Reign number 9. The past unfolds. A secret is revealed. Next we have Shudder number 16. Kingslayer. We've also got Tales of Honor Bred to Kill number 3. Honor Harrington, Scott Tremaine, and Horace Harkness continue their adventure to Eros to find Honor's missing uncle. Next we have The Tide number 6. Islamophobia Part 2. Hypocrisy hits new heights. We've also got Tokyo Ghost number 2. Constables Led Dent and Debbie Decay are given their final mission, purge their bodies of all technology and invade the guard nation of Tokyo. And we've got Wolf number 4. Can't bury the past, but you can try. From Valiant Entertainment, we have Book of Death, The Fall of Exo Manowar number 1 one-shot. The Book of the Geomancer foretells of a deadly future for the Valiant universe. But what if the future holds hope for one powerful hero? After hundreds of years in exile on an alien planet, Eric of Dacia has returned to an unfamiliar Earth, only to find a planet that doesn't remember or want him. Will Eric of Dacia finally find happiness in the aftermath of the apocalypse? Plus the ultimate fate of the Exo Manowar armor revealed in this can't-miss chapter of the summer's biggest event from New York Times bestselling writer Robert Venditti and Harvey Award nominee Clayton Henry. Next we have Ivor Time Walker number 10. Have you ever wondered what would happen if dinosaurs ruled the Roman Empire? Well, you're going to find out. Ivor and Neela continue their pursuit of the Prometheans through time only to discover some, well, huge changes their machinations have made to history. Meanwhile, who is the Ractus, and what does he have in store for Neela? And we've got Rye number 11. Acclaimed writer Matt Kent and superstar artist Clayton Crane bring The Orphan to a brutal boiling point. Now that Rye's allies back on New Japan have reunited, they must figure out a plan to retrieve their friend and topple Father's rule once and for all. Meanwhile, Rye has his work cut out for him on Earth as his past sins come back to haunt him. Luckily for our hero, justice is eternal. Okay, so that's a look at some of the top independent publishers this week, but there's still plenty of other books out as well, so be sure to check out my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com to see both the Marvel and DC videos for this week, as well as my usual roundup of all my favorites for the week, with a little more depth and insight than you get here. And if you like these videos, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment and subscribing. You can now find He's Got Issues on eBay at he'sgotissues.com/eBay for great deals on comics, trades, and lots of superhero and pop culture merchandise. And of course, you can also follow He's Got Issues on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, and Instagram to see everything I'm reading as I read it. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.